Good evening. Welcome to MSNBC Reports. I'm Michael Smith, reporting live from Rockefeller Plaza. Thank you so much for watching this evening. We have a great show lined up for you. And beginning in tonight's breaking story, we have the continuing coverage on the Russian-Ukrainian crisis. I have the Russian president joins me live via satellite phone from Moscow. He'll be live with us and the panel in just a few minutes. We're going to be talking to him tonight about his thoughts on the situation and what Russia is currently doing and how do they view the U.S. We're also going to be talking about the elections, which are on March 11th. Our coverage will be live here on MSNBC starting at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, that's 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be here on Friday giving you complete coverage of the election. It's, I believe, span 3 days. We're going to be talking about that. I honestly believe Armand Foley is going to win the election. But first, I want to get to my talking points memo regarding tonight. MSNBC Report starts right now. And good evening. Welcome to MSNBC Reports. I'm Michael Smith, reporting live here from Rockefeller Plaza. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me. Now, I want to talk about something that's been on my mind for quite a few days, and that is BLM being pushed and sponsored by our own government here in AR? I mean, I was going through TikTok, and I saw the AR TikTok, and I saw that the actual AR TikTok is promoting BLM. They're trying to get people to join the group using Black Lives Matter. I don't know what Richo and the moderation of the group management is thinking, but using a fascist, using a socialist group that has no interest in black lives should not be used to get members into the group. It really shouldn't. I feel it's being pushed by our government, and I think that they're really trying to use this to get more views, which is absolutely insane, which I think is really, really crazy. Now, I want to talk to you about the incompetent press secretary we have in office right now. That's my second talking point I want to get to. Who in the hell hired this press secretary? The guy is a lunatic. Listen to what he told Parker Jackson about the possible investigation being done about him in Congress. Listen to this.
In order to better their lives. So I really hope that Congress is not taking this moment, taking all that's going on with Russia and Ukraine, all these nominees, what the president is trying to get passed, and just reducing it to atoms for a partisan investigation. I really hope that's not the case.
Right, so he thinks this is all a bipartisan slam or scam or whatever he thinks this is. No, you are an incompetent loser. You can try to deflect or whatever you think this is on other networks, but bottom line is you are the problem and you are the reason why we cannot have a good press secretary. You look horrible. Who is your hairdresser? Who is your hairstylist? I mean, you look like you just rolled out of a Goodwill. I mean, seriously. I mean, you're a thrift store press secretary. I mean, what is wrong with this guy? This guy cannot report simple facts. This guy is just a complete lunatic. I mean, he has failed press secretaries. He makes this president look terrible. I mean, if you really want to know why this president is sinking so low in approval ratings, it's because of the stupid press secretary he has. He has a horrible press secretary who is making his administration look worse than it actually is. I mean, he is really making it look worse. I mean, he's unprofessional, late. I mean, he pushes back and pushes back and pushes back and pushes back. He does not allow the public to see what is going on. He thinks that this investigation is a partisan slam. No, it's not. We're trying to investigate what you are doing and why you are doing it. I mean, seriously. I mean, there are complete unprofessionalism in that press room. You would think it's a WWE arena in there. You got people being tackled, punched, sucker punched. I mean, what is going on? I mean, there's no order, no balance. I don't know what is going on. It's to the point where at this network, we just won't cover press briefings anymore. He wants to blame Con News or other networks, CNN, fake news CNN. They want to blame them when CNN is clearly fake news, but I mean, I'm not sure that's the root of the problem. So I want to talk to my panel about this press secretary thing and about this
press secretary. Now, sources
Could you say that one more time for our viewers? I think you cut out.
Oh, sorry. The president promoted him to White House communications director. this was before the disaster of a press conference just a few days ago. But he was promoted after the first original disaster. And I think that is concerning in and itself.
Right. And then you have
Here you
Akon.
have
Go ahead.
Here you have the communications director, whose job it is to hire a press secretary, just taking on the duties for himself. Now,
Right.
I have some inside sources that say the president promoted him just to get him off the stage. But if you ask me, it has backfired.
Right. So, I mean, this guy is extremely crazy. And don't even get me started on a con artist. A con artist is committing crimes by the day in our streets. Again, I want to show you something that our friend Liam McDonald, he'll be on later tonight. Him being shot in LA by a con artist. Watch this video. You can see he's simply patrolling around the streets, trying to make sure everything is safe. The reason why he shot first is because a con artist was a wanted criminal who was robbing banks by the daily. This man is a criminal. You see that? He's trying to stop the criminals and try to take them off the street. Something that our police just won't do. Something that people that are trying to supposedly protect you won't do. Now he creeps from the corner. Look at this. Like he's some type of warlord and just savagely kills him. Watch that again. Savagely kills him. Hey, do you think his approval numbers are going to tank because of this? Talk to me about that.
Well, I definitely think that to start, it's important to note that he has one of the, for lack of a better word, cultiest supporter base. With this whole bacon hair, bacon lives matter, bacon hair foundation thing. I find it rather childish. It's definitely immature, and I think he uses it to save face for what he does. I know this is a kid's game, and I know there are some aspects that don't need to be taken seriously, but what he does with that is just immature. It's obnoxious, and I think he uses it as a justification for his poor behavior. And if he really wants to be, for lack of a better word, the Roblox president of this group,
He has a
step it up.
cult following that is just nothing more than a bunch of losers and just immature idiots, immature hormonal teenagers, for a lack of a better word.
Well, I think we
Yes.
can classify Bacon Lives Matter as a cult. That is true.
It's a cult.
I think we should. It is, and we should classify a con artist as the new Charles Manson.
Right. We could compare him to that. Now, I want to show you a picture that was sent into our newsroom by Richo, and he says that, and I will quote this, a police officer participated in this is Centaur Exelis, pretending to be George Floyd in a picture. This was taken in an alleyway in LA. What the hell is going on? This is the man that's supposed to be representing you in Congress. He's dressing up as George Floyd and pretending to get shot by the police. What in that is horrible. What in the world? This man is pretending to be George Floyd. George flipping Floyd and pretending to get shot by the cops. And look at that. Look at that. Again, you see everybody that participated in this, Bernard Caldwell, and the man's supposed to be running to get your vote, and he's trying to pretend to be Derek Chauvin. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on that? That is just ridiculous. Ridiculous.
That's just disgusting.
It's childish, it's immature, and it's disgusting as fuck.
If this is what we're going to be known for, we're just Noosa 2.0. Am I wrong?
Not at
I
all.
think this is worse than Noosa.
I mean, this could be
Well,
worse
I
than
remember.
Noosa. Absolutely.
This exact thing happened in Noosa with Squarehead, whatever his name
Right.
was.
He portrayed to be Derek Chauvin. So, I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean, that's what Centaur Exelis be doing. Now, Sheev, talk to me. What should we be doing about Centaur Exelis? Because this man should not be in any public office after that picture. I mean, he is pretending to be you're almost trying to recreate 9/11.
If you also remember, he did a horrible job as Secretary of State under the Caldwell presidency. And then now you have Bayan making him Secretary of Commerce, which is pretty much a useless position. That's where you stuff people you don't want in. I think the president should just get rid of him at this point. He's too much of a risk, and he's going to keep dragging the president's poll numbers down.
Yeah, definitely. Your thoughts on this, Egg?
I think that, he's definitely immature for this. It's definitely wrong. It's definitely racist. And he's definitely like not the person who should be like the face of wherever he's being placed.
Exactly.
Even though
He's the
it's
Secretary of Commerce.
he shouldn't. Even if he is the face of.
Look at that picture
Secretary
again.
of Commerce,
That is supposed to be a man
Commerce.
that's representing you. He says, "Look at that. That is supposed to be a guy that is representing you in Congress. Would you want?" Okay, that's just the first piece of evidence I have against just these immature and, quite frankly, idiotic politicians we have in DC right now. We need to throw it all out and get new politicians that actually are going to do something. I can't. I'm not saying, it's a terrible situation. Terrible situation.
I just find that statement ironic, seeing how both me and Egg are in the House.
Again, and I'm just saying. I mean, we have to throw out the system that of people full of people like that, and we need to re-elect new politicians. I'm just saying, it's time for some change. We got to re-elect new politicians now. We have to gut it out every so often, which we shouldn't have to do this. We shouldn't have to go through all this. I want to show you more video now of a con artist just acting like a complete buffoon. Really, I mean, just a complete buffoon. And it seemed like we're the only network that's trying to expose the lunatic, ridiculous crap that is going on in this country right now, that is supposedly supposed to be going on behind the scenes where nobody can see it. Well, the curtain is being undraped, and the American people need to see it. So here's more picture of Centaur Exelis acting like a complete buffoon. He's acting like a slave now to Bernard Caldwell. He says, "Yes, massa." He's acting like a slave. Again, inappropriate behavior from Centaur Exelis. What are your thoughts on that? Again, more pictures coming out like this.
The fact that Representative Caldwell is participating in this is true.
And that's the other thing, exactly.
And it's unbecoming of a member of the House of Representatives.
It demeans.
Yeah.
It demeans the public opinion of the House of Representatives because it's just it's immature, and I know this is a kid's game, so not everything on here is going to be mature, but you're trying to play as the American government. You can't be going around and doing these things and then expect people to like tolerate it because it's just flat out racist.
Yeah, I mean, people are not going to tolerate this at all. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I would never thought I would sing that from Centaur Exelis. I mean, no wonder he's a failed Secretary of State. I mean, he did a terrible job in America. He has failed America from day one, and he is a politician. We've got to get out, and he needs to get a new job. He needs to sit down and stop sucking down hot Cheetos, and he needs to get himself a job because, frankly, he is the problem in AR. He is, frankly, the problem in NUSA that we had is just the toxicity. I see the toxicity coming back, guys. I see the same toxic, just same things coming back to this country, and it's not good. And I want to show you again the same things going on at these press briefings. You see that? That is what happened on I believe this was Sunday at the press briefing that we covered live here on MSNBC. It was supposedly murder. It was just all hell breaking loose at the press briefing on Sunday, where Lion Claws could clearly not keep control of the press, or clearly not keep control of whatever he was doing. And he makes the excuse of the media, and which is some of the problem. But as press secretary, you are supposed to keep control of the press room. That is not all on the media. And I don't think it's a bipartisan slander of what they're trying to do here. And it's really bad. What is going on? You have video of the press, just basically a wrestling match in the press room, which I don't know, folks. We're in a bad way. We are. This is a bad way. Wow. It's crazy. It is. It's really crazy. And now they're pulling out more screenshots and more photos of all kinds of different things that, frankly, is just terrible. Well, when we return, we're going to talk to the Russian president about his thoughts on the current Ukraine situation and in Russia, because it is a situation that we are closely watching here at MSNBC. So do not go anywhere. Russian leaders and the Russian advisor to the prime minister, or the president, I should say, not the prime minister, the president, will be joining us live here on MSNBC. We'll be right back. Do not go anywhere. This conversation continues next. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to MSNBC Reports. I'm Michael Smith. Thank you so much for watching this show on this wonderful, wonderful Monday evening. I hope you had a great Monday. I know it's always hard to start the school week. It's always hard to start the work week on Monday. Can you guys agree with that? I mean, it is so hard to start it on Monday. I am not.
Monday sucks.
I know, exactly. Mondays suck. All right, so join me now. On to some more serious news. From what I'm hearing from my producer, we have the Russian president patched in via satellite from the Kremlin, from the actual headquarters of the Russian government in Moscow. Can you hear me, Mr. President?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, great. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing great. Okay, let's talk about what's the active troop presence in Ukraine right now, and what are you all doing? What do you want?
What do you mean? Elaborate.
Well, you clearly, we're starting this war, right? What do the Russian people want? What does your government want to end this?
Well, as our Federation Council has recently voted on unanimously, might I add, the Ukrainian people are suffering under a regime of totalitarianism and Nazism. They are run by fascists and they're run by racists. Their commanders, their president, have not denied that. They've actually actively engaged in creating battalions.
Right.
Our Azov battalion, for instance, is ran by a racist commander. They're ran by Nazis, right?
So that's your biggest problem with the Nazism.
Our goal is to liberate the Ukrainian people from the totalitarian and Nazi rule of a tyrannical president.
Okay, and how do you look to accomplish that?
By liberating the Ukrainian people.
And how do you? I mean, so how is your efforts on that going right now? I mean, what is your active? Go ahead.
They're going exactly as have been planned.
Right. So, what are your key targets here? What are you planning to target to try? Because we both know that there are some places that you can start with that can make this much easier. Where are you all stationed right now? Where are you trying to take over or take hold of so you can liberate these people and set them free?
Well, fortunately, you're not my general chief of staff, so I am not going to answer that.
So, right, add too much. All right, that's fine. So, what is the Russian? And just put this in context for our viewers. What is the general beef between you and in the United States?
Well, see, the idea behind the United States claiming to be allied to the Unitary Republic of Ukraine is completely bizarre, right? it never happened, right? The United States has never been allied to Ukraine. The Ukrainian government actually never explicitly asked the United States for support. Um, the United States willingly, warmongeringly intervened in a conflict it had no desire nor request at being involved in. That is the problem. They began aggressive negotiations with us. Your former Secretary of State actually
Yeah.
attempted at resolving the conflict. He actually was very respectful, and my my team of advisors actually fairly enjoyed the man. The issue actually lies with your president. Your president was incredibly disrespectful. Your president was
Well, how is he disrespectful?
unprofessional, and well, I'd have to find the chats really, but in short, your president was disrespectful. Your president uh, completely refused to adhere to our previously established negotiations, our diplomatic ties, which we wanted to keep.
Uh-huh.
But through the disrespect, your president virtually cut ties with the Russian Federation. After that being said, they involved themselves in the Ukrainian crisis. We began war talks with the United Nations, and we got your war terms, which frankly are absurd. They're
Well,
completely
why are they absurd? I
absurd,
mean, you've been clearly
right?
violating the war terms in most cases. Why is that?
What war terms?
That you think are absurd. Why are they absurd?
Well, do you know what war terms are? Do you know
Uh,
what I'm talking about?
I do know mostly, but explain them for me.
Well, if you're having me explain them to you, clearly don't know them. So,
Well,
the United States actually
I
asked
believe he
the
is
UN.
asking you
well,
to
well. Listen,
clarify for the viewers.
I'm asking you to clarify for the viewers, and the attitude you have towards me is extremely unnecessary. So I'm asking you to
It's
clarify for my
typical for
viewers.
Russian.
What is that?
Well, your war terms, the war terms sent to us by the United States, are terms that we have to abide to should we lose the war. The war terms included, which I believe your chief of staff posted on Twitter. I'm not completely certain, or the president may have, but the United States government asked for us to waive our right to declare war against the United States and other allied nations, which is a violation of our sovereignty. The United States wanted the Russian Federation to vote with the United States, and however the United States wishes us to in the United Nations for 90 days after the end of the war, which is another violation of our sovereignty. They also asked for us to issue a formal apology to the United States and the United Nations as a whole. And let me reiterate, we did nothing wrong. We have done nothing wrong. The Russian Federation was also asked by the United States to have every single member of our government resign and be replaced by whoever the United States wished us to replace them with, which is another violation of our sovereignty. Another
Michael, if
request
I may,
we-
before this
Well,
version
you're saying there's a violation of sovereignty in every
Another-
sentence. What are you talking
another-
about?
I'm listing all the war terms to you, so if you don't mind me completing these war terms, I will
If I
actually
may,
do so.
Well,
for the record, Russia proposed similar terms
exactly. You
to the
proposed
United
similar
States.
terms. Very
What the
similar.
Russian president is spouting on this show is Russian propaganda. And
Exactly,
we should
just
not
a
stand
bunch
for
of
it.
crap. I mean, what are you a bunch of crap? I mean, it's to try to cover your own. I don't know. I mean, continue.
The United States also asked for us to place a 40-member cap.
You're trying to
on
spread
our
your own.
military,
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
which isn't too bad. We were willing to do that. The United States asked of us to recognize Ukraine's government, and cede Donbass, which we would have been all right with should we have lost the war. But they also wanted us to cede Crimea, which is not up for negotiation.
Crimea is Ukrainian
The
territory.
United States had
Crimea
also
is
asked
Ukrainian
us-
territory,
Federation
not
had
Russian.
annexed it.
The United States had also asked us to raise the United States flag as a flag of occupation.
You
over the Red
demanded
Square,
the
You
White House
which
hang a
is
portrait of you in the
also-
Oval Office.
Exactly.
Also
You demanded us to hang a portrait
acceptable,
of you in the
which
Oval
is
Office.
also
How dumb is
acceptable
that?
should we have lost the war, right? Some of these terms are not bizarre to us, right? But the terms that involved us giving away parts of our sovereignty were not, and thus
You
the
wanted the
Russian
United States to
Federation
give up
wanted
Alaska.
responded.
Go fuck yourself.
The Russian Federation responded with equal, if not appropriate terms based
So
on
what
the
is
United
appropriate
States
terms?
gave
You're
us.
taking hostages. Your battalions are taking hostages by the day. I mean seriously. I mean, this is nothing more than Russian propaganda you're trying to push. And really,
Do you have anything backing up these claims?
I do. Several pictures that have came out from various different news organizations that have shown Russian battalions holding Ukrainian hostages, making them put their hands up, God knows what else, in very remote regions. What is your whole thing? I mean, seriously, this is war crimes in itself.
Michael, taking hostages, right, or prisoners of war, is not a war crime.
well,
I'm
the
sorry,
only
did you
war
just
crime
equate
that
prisoners
the
of war to
only the
hostages?
only crime.
I'm sorry,
the
that
only
prisoners
crime-
of war are not
the
hostages.
only they're not hostages. You're right. They're not.
just
They're
equated
prisoners
to
of war.
taking
You just
hostages.
equated it to
However,
hostages.
The only violation of international law of international
You don't even
law
know what
that
you're
we
saying.
would have been in violation of would be should we be committing anti-humanitarian acts and inhumane
We don't
acts
know. We don't know if
against
you're doing
these
that or not.
prisoners,
We don't know if
which
you're
we
doing
are
that or
not. We are not committing
Who says
any
you aren't?
inhumane acts against these
Look,
prisoners.
I'll
of
put it up on
war.
the screen. Control room, can we put that up on the screen? I'll show you. This is a picture that has came out from your country that you have been taking prisoners. You've been you've been beating prisoners. You've been putting them wherever you want to put them. I mean, ridiculous. I don't have any words to say about
Would
that.
you mind sending it in the group chat?
You can see it if you watch it on your Russian TV. You can see it. And it's been
Or
on
you can
Twitter. You
send
can
it.
see it circulating. It's been online.
Or you can send it.
It's been online. I'll send it to you in our chat. Look at that. Those are your men, Russian Serbian battalion holding a Ukrainian hostage.
That
Okay.
is the Serbian battalion.
Still,
What do you mean still? I don't command the Serbian military just as much as the United States doesn't command the Ukrainian military.
I'm just saying. I'm
You're not
saying.
just saying. You're accusing the Russian Federation of committing committing war crimes, which is completely unjustified and
You are.
inappropriate of you to do when it is clearly shown in that image the
Okay,
coat of arms
well-
of the Serbian Republic.
Right. Okay.
So
let's-
you are
let's-
mistaken, sir. You
All right,
are mistaken.
Let's move on. You're right. Let's just move on. So, what are your thoughts on the United Kingdom being
Hold up.
withdrawing? Go
They
ahead.
assassinated a head of state.
I'm not even.
You're going to tell me that's not a war crime?
Sorry,
Russian
when did we
FSB.
do that?
You assassinated a head of state.
On the
We-
5th
You
of March.
assassinated
We
the
took
Ukrainian
action
president.
against a racist, anti-democratic.
That doesn't. You
fascist
commit a war
Nazi.
crime. You
That
just
does not give you
killed
the right,
the
to kill a
Ukrainian
head of
prime
state.
minister.
the president.
You know, your your representative here actually has a point, and your representative has just stated, how do you assassinate a Roblox head of state considering they respawn?
Your country's putting this shit out. so-
You're putting it out. So I mean, how are you supposed to? You're
the
not
one
even
telling
backing
me
to
it's
back
a
up your own
terrible
claims.
act of war. It is a war crime to kill.
Literally is a war
head
crime.
of
It is a
state
war
that
crime.
respawns the next second.
You
It
just-
is
I
a
mean,
war crime to
It is a
execute
war
prisoner of
crime.
war.
Okay.
It's not a war crime, actually.
It is a war crime.
I mean,
not.
it is.
Look it up.
We do not recognize the Republic of Ukraine.
All
right.
Here we go to the classic
Here we
line
go. Here you go.
of Russian fucking bullshit.
Look, And you can see, can we blur that out, please? And you can see, again, your people launched a federal assassination on the president of Ukraine. That's not a war crime. I mean, I'll put it up on the screen.
The self-proclaimed. The self-proclaimed.
No,
Michael,
it
put
doesn't.
it,
So
put it
now,
on the. Yeah, put it on the screen.
so
This is
now,
a democratically elected president that they are assassinating. Russia is the enemy of
Elected by
democracy.
a state that does not exist.
to you, that you don't
Yeah, shut
recognize.
up, you
To you,
bureaucratic piece of
seriously, you're pushing this Russian RT again. This RT that maybe will be able to be pushed on RT and Moscow Times or whatever propaganda y'all listen to in Russia. But here, that's not going to be pushed because see, it's not recognized to you. But in other countries, Ukraine is a country and it is recognized. So to you, it's not a war crime because hey, well, Ukraine isn't a country. We don't recognize it. It's the same thing. Doesn't make a difference.
So is the United States now the arbiter of truth? Is that what you're telling the international
I'm not trying to
community?
tell you what the arbiter of truth is. I'm
Well,
telling
that's
you
exactly what you're
what the
saying.
UN
That's
states. I'm
exactly what
telling
you're
you
implying.
what
See,
the
this is the
Geneva
issue
Conference
with
states.
Western media and
See,
Western
no. How about you shut
United
up?
States
How about you go?
automatically
No,
involve
no.
themselves in a
You're not
war
going to
You
blame
are
the
a
Western
legitimate
media.
piece of shit
You need to be
dictator.
quiet.
They
You're
had
not-
no business.
You're not
use
gonna blame
another
the
group for your
Western
military.
media
You
on
how
your
about you raise your
shortfalls
own
as
military?
a president.
Representative,
You have
shut your
committed
mouth and
war
let me
crimes,
speak
and it
to
has
the
been
media
shown
person here.
time and
That's
time
the reason I
again
am
on
America.
video and on picture and on film. You are you again? I'll put up on the screen. To you, Ukraine is not recognized. Okay, that is still a war crime to the other countries of the world and other countries that are a part of different conventions in the United Nations.
Like,
So,
take it to the UN.
Yeah, I
Take it.
find
well,
it
you
funny.
need to take it to the UN. We need to take it to the UN. I agree.
Well,
We need
you're
to take
not
it-
I
going-
just find this
Well,
funny.
we
When
are.
They say they don't recognize Ukraine's government, yet they willfully, and they have announced this in the the United Nations, that they are issuing ultimatums to the Ukrainian
Exactly.
government.
You're whistling
You can't
on
have
the
it both
government.
ways.
Exactly. Right.
Self-proclaimed government.
No. You didn't even
What do you
put
mean self-proclaimed government?
It's
Self-proclaimed
it
government.
says
It's
the
implied
Kremlin
in our
issues the following
declarations.
ultimatum to Ukraine's government, which means that wording. Guess what? You recognize it, you piece of shit.
Well, Representative, the minute you get involved in international politics, then you can talk to me about this. But as of now,
We'll
you're a
see.
representative
See
of
that.
Congress.
Yeah.
I am a representative of Congress with
To
10
butt in,
fucking
You need
years.
to show. You need. Well,
Constitutionally,
frankly,
the
I don't know
Congress
where
of
the
the
hell you
United
think you are, but you
States
need to show us a
the
little bit of
official
respect. We have had the honor of
in
bringing you on
matters
here
on
to
the
try to
defense
show
of
your
war.
point of view. You have not been very respectful, and you don't
Sorry,
get to
but I
just
believe
talk
you
to
should
people like that.
review
Like you're
your-
just the
you
biggest
should
crap
review your
on the
feed.
street. Well, listen here, buddy. You are a Roblox politician, and you're not going to treat me like a bunch of crap. You don't listen. You're not going to treat me like that because you were from the West or whatever. I treated you with respect. You're going to treat me with respect because you have had an attitude with me and my colleagues for the entire time you have been on here. It's not going to work. It's not going to, I don't know
I
what
think
the
we should
rest
just
of your
boot this
commie
Russian piece of
friends
shit outta
do,
here.
but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Seriously.
I think you need to review your feed if you're accusing me of being disrespectful.
Shut the fuck up.
You need to be quiet. You came here first with the attitude, so no.
You ask questions that are deemed classified, and I tell
Whatever.
you.
No, it's not. No. You can.
But yes, that is exactly what happened.
No, not at all.
You ask questions asking for Russian troop
No,
movements,
shut up, you
which
Russian piece of trash.
common
No, I
sense
know. You
is
could have given me
not
at least a
acceptable.
diagram of what was going on. I'm not saying I'm trying to get our confidential information. I'm just asking questions. It was some attitude towards
You're
it.
asking
That's all I'm
questions,
saying.
allowing for your representative to interrupt in the middle, right? Occasionally you interrupt as well as I'm trying to answer your
Guess what?
questions.
This is America, bitch.
Exactly.
I came on this show, quote unquote, under the impression I'd be speaking
This
to
show.
Michael.
What does the quote unquote mean? It's better than a show that your Russian idiots could ever put on. All right. So when your media can put on a show like this, then you can talk to me about that. But go ahead.
I didn't ask to be on this show. I believe you did.
Yeah, because I was thinking it was going to be a more pretty basic, but things went out of hand, expectedly.
Well, you're a disrespectful person.
No, you are the one that's disrespectful.
See, Michael's not the one invading other nations, sovereign nations. Nor is he committing
I'm
war
not the
crimes,
nation that
unlike you
supports
are.
Nazis. We aren't a people that support
And
Nazis.
we don't support them.
But you do. Your president
No, we
supported
don't.
Ukraine. Your president
because we
backed out
support
of
a
a war
country.
as well. Your president willingly backed out of the war. You can't just back out of a war after war terms have been drawn up. I don't believe your president told you
Sure.
that, or did he?
Just Russian
The
propaganda.
president, I can screenshot this if you really want one. I will screenshot it for you
This
right
is just
now.
Russian propaganda to smear the president of the United States and make this
Okay.
country look weak. Someone get this asshole out of here.
For war terms to be
Hold
struck
up.
constitutionally,
Hold up.
it would have to be
Hold up.
What
Here
an
it is.
idiot.
There is your
Both
screenshot.
chambers
There's your
of Congress.
screenshot. There's your screenshot. Read it, please.
Wow, what an idiot.
That ain't Discord.
It is Discord, it's just with a different background. I see. Oh, well.
The president backed out of the war, a war that has already been declared. Your country effectively surrendered to the Russian Federation. So do not
Congress
talk
has
to
no.
This
Congress
is, you
has
know
not
what, we're going to go ahead and
authorized any
remove
such
him, and we're going to
surrender.
remove these Russians from our group. Well, what
Yeah,
an
that's
inter-
just
According to the
Russian
United
propaganda.
States
The
Just
Russian
more
lies.
Russian
which
propaganda.
is the supreme binding law document in the United States, the Congress, not the president, has the ultimate power when it comes to common defense. So
Yeah.
war terms have not been passed through both chambers of Congress. Therefore, they have not been officially struck.
Yeah, God bless America.
Bless America and our troops
Just
at this
ignore
point
them.
because,
Those were a bunch of dumb.
I mean,
fucking
they are.
cunts.
They're really dumb. I mean, they are really bad, dumb people. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for us. I know, a pretty short show. Well, not sure. We went 40 minutes. We went way over our expected time. I want to thank our panel again for coming on. I know a lot of you all were talking in the middle of that. That was not an easy interview, but I think we all stayed pretty calm. I know it was a really interesting situation. I know I'm going to get to William Foley tomorrow about his response to that. But I do want to thank you all for watching this special edition of Michael Smith Reports. I want to thank you for watching. I want everyone to have a great day. Stay safe. Good night from New York.